Okay.
I'm testing him. Okay.
All
Oh,
right,
whoa.
we're
Oh my.
recording.
Okay.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Metamorphosis. Today, Tommy will be eating chicken wings for the
This
entire
isn't
45 minutes.
this isn't a mukbang, guys.
Yes, it is. Our first
So,
episode of mukbang.
so basically, we have teamed up and we have decided to make a really cool podcast. And we should just go around and introduce everybody. Starting off, I'm Kaya. Um, I'm the host of this Zoom. And who's next?
I'll go. Um, Hi, I'm Bianca. I'm I guess one of the two co-hosts. So hey y'all.
Um, my name is Tommy. Um, I am the second of the two co-hosts in this. Wait, hold on. I don't have my script. This metamorphosis podcast. Um, so yeah, I got my script pulled up now. We're good, guys.
Shall we do an icebreaker to introduce everybody more
Oh, yeah.
popular? Okay, Tommy.
Why do I like to start the icebreakers?
Why not?
I always start icebreakers, even at work. Um, okay, fine, I guess. So let's see. If you had to choose between going on a 2-week cruise or going on a 2-week trip to a different continent, which one would you choose?
What would you choose, Tommy?
Both. No, I would choose the continents.
I feel like continent is more of my
Yeah,
area.
yeah, I
I
feel like
I
I
can't be
would
on
say
water
the
for too long.
same.
I love being in boats, but like if I'm on the boat for more than like a day, I think I'd get crazy and not no.
Okay,
Yeah.
leading up to our next conversation here. I just wanted to address to everybody that we all have the same condition, same skin condition, and it's called epidermolysis bullosa. Now, we all have different subtypes, and this is the whole reason for the podcast. We wanted to raise awareness in general so that the general public would be known for like about this. And yeah, I just hope that you guys can learn more about it and that you'll like learn some of our experiences and our stories as well. And yeah, you just get to meet some really cool people. So,
Yeah.
um, do you, Bianca, want to talk about your subtype in basically what it is? And then I'll go over the general overview of what epidermolysis bullosa is.
Yeah, sure. So I have recessive dystrophic EB, which I consider the more, I guess, debilitating kind. It's the more I would also say like prominent kind, like it's kind of more visible. And that one is so essentially each type of EB, like we're all missing something, which I just recently learned. So for example, I'm missing collagen 7. So there's that. And yeah, so that's like a brief overview about my kind of EB.
Okay, so do you want to talk about your subtype, Tommy?
Sure. Yeah. So I was born with what's called epidermolysis bullosa simplex. I have subtype Dowling-Mira, which is actually been renamed to severe. I just found this out literally like a week or two ago. but they renamed it to severe because it's, I think, the most severe of the simplex types. And just like Bianca was saying, all three of us have a different like genetic mutation that removes either collagen, keratin, something. I don't know every single one, but I know mine's keratin. I know that I think Bianca's is um collagen, and I don't know what Kira's is, Kaia's is because I don't know. But mine, most people that have EBS, um, it's mostly in like their hands and their feet, so it's really hard for them to walk a lot of times. I got very lucky and can walk, and I am thankful for that every day. I would not be allowed to be in the marching band if I couldn't march or walk. But um, I also have an older brother who is uh like 4 years older than me or something. I don't actually know how much older she is, but he's I think 4 years older than me. What is he? 22. So yeah, he's 4 years older than me. He has recessive dystrophic epidermolysis bullosa, just like Bianca does. Um,
What, Bianca is dystrophic?
Yeah.
I guess we're all learning
For
together.
some reason, I thought you had junctional. I don't know.
No, it's because there's recessive dystrophic and then there's
Dominant
dominant
dystrophic.
dystrophic. So
Yeah.
it's dystrophic, but there's two different kinds, which I
Like
never really understood, but
yeah, I feel like having epidermolysis bullosa, it always opens something new. You find out things every single day about it that you had no
hmm
idea you had or you didn't know about. And you've been living with this for, like such a long period of time. Like we're all, I guess, young adults, and it's just something new you learn all the time.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
as for me, I only know that I have dystrophic. I do not know what kind because there are two types of it, but it affects my hands, it affects my feet and my legs, my one leg in particular, and occasionally it's been affecting my face lately.
Hmm.
Um, but just learning how to manage your skin condition if you have anything similar to epidermolysis bullosa, it's really like you can learn so much about things that you didn't know, is what I'm trying to say. So, yeah. Um,
Tad bit of a side note, but I think I just found out why I'm short. Um, Apparently people with Dowling Mirror have a growth delay. So I think I have an
What?
excuse.
Really?
Yeah, it's not my fault, guys.
oh my gosh, you know what I've like noticed over the past few years, you guys,
Hmm.
that my one foot is smaller than my other foot because of the scarring.
My foot, my my left foot is tilted at like a 25-degree angle. To always.
Yeah.
Always.
Mm-hmm.
Never not.
And
If I
that's
try and straighten it, I feel weird.
that's because of like a lot of the webbing that we
Yeah.
have and scarring.
And
And
I
it
have
just
Pee-wee on that foot. So I mean it makes sense.
you have pardon? What?
The arachnoabdominal toe.
Okay.
I call him Pee-wee the never mind, I'm not gonna say
Okay.
that.
Well, I lost my train of thought.
Apologies.
It's okay. Um,
I
sorry.
guess to add on that though, like this past week, just learned that like every kind of EB, we're missing something. Like
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Like I
Mhm.
thought that each kind of EB, we were all missing like the collagen. I thought that's what we were missing. But then when I found out that, oh no, simplex, they're missing keratin junctional, I'm not too sure. And then like dystrophic, we're missing like the collagen. I was like, wait, this entire time I thought we were all missing like the collagen.
True.
And then when
I
I found out that, oh no, we're all missing something like different, I was like, what? So my mind was like blown when I found
I
that out.
I found that out through my own mother in the hotel room actually. She's like, "Oh, it's a nice shirt." I was like, "Yeah, it represents what I'm missing." She's like, "You're not missing collagen. You're missing keratin 15 and keratin 14 and keratin 5." It's like, "Oh, okay."
I no, like literally this entire time I thought we were all missing the same thing. And then when I was told, oh no, like we're all missing something different. I was like, what? Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
So
It's so much more than a skin condition, I feel like. It's
Mm-hmm.
more than that, you know?
definitely,
Like,
definitely.
not only do you have to d deal with the daily struggles of it, it's you have to go along the side of taking care of yourself. You have to make sure that your mental health is still intact. And it's just hard for a lot of the community. And by bringing us together is what I want to talk about next. Um, it really makes you know that you are not alone. And speaking of how we all met is what I want to bring up next. So, does
Oh
anyone
Lord.
want to volunteer to how we met?
Should we talk about how we all three met, or like how me and Bianca met, and then how we met you?
It whatever, it doesn't matter.
Because I have no clue how I met Bianca. I just kind of know.
I
I just
I
like one day
guess
was like, "Oh, I know you now." I don't
yeah,
remember how it went.
I guess we can kind of go in order. So like
Yeah.
I met Tommy. I'm gonna be so honest. I think you just spawned.
I just feel like I did. I just was
Like,
adopted, and they're like, "You're going to this thing tomorrow." I was like, "Oh, okay." And then I
yeah,
met
because
you, and I was playing with your Barbies, and
yeah, because I remember meeting your brother.
hmm
Like we met in 2004. So I don't remember
I
that.
wasn't even alive yet.
I know. I know, but like we met in 2004. I don't remember that, but then like I would say like the 2010 conference when I actually had gained consciousness at that point, I knew Zach, your brother. And
Which, yeah.
yeah, and then I think
So
I don't know if you went to the 2010. You did go to the
I
2010.
did. I
That's
remember,
when that's when I met you. And
yeah.
then you just appeared. And I was like, "Oh, there's
Yeah.
another kid with ED
We have
here. That's
we have
cool."
a video on my house computer of me playing with your Barbie set, and I was combing my hair with the tiny little Barbie brush. And you were like, "Tommy, what are you doing?" And Zach had like his chipmunk voice still, and he was saying the same thing. And I have that video still somewhere. I'm gonna have to like send it to you or something. But
Yes, please.
that's like literally what I remember when I think of my first conference. I think of using that tiny brush in my lackluster amount of hair.
Yeah. So
Okay,
yeah, we've gone on like almost 15 years at this point.
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
Or like me knowing Tommy and
most of my life. Yeah,
yeah, and then Zach like even longer.
yeah, right.
So that's how we
So,
met.
okay. So I just want to do like a general like overview of what the conference is.
Okay.
So basically the conference, the DCC, it's the Deborah Care Conference. It's been around for a long time. I'm not even sure how long,
I think this was
but
the 12th conference, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it's been around for longer. And
Oh,
it actually used to be called the Patient Care Conference, and then they recently, not super recent, but they changed it to the Deborah Care Conference, I guess to gain more
okay. More
like
awareness.
more awareness of it.
Okay.
Yeah. So
so basically what Deborah is, I'm quite sure it's a nonprofit organization where um it's a place where you can reach out to any of your concerns if you have epidermolysis bullosa. And I'm pretty sure my parents found out about the Deborah Care Conference through someone, but I'm not quite sure. And we eventually started going. Okay, it went Cincinnati, 2010. And then what was next?
I think the next one was in Dallas.
Yeah,
No, wait, 2010? Okay,
2012.
2012. 2012 was Orlando.
2012 was
yeah.
Orlando.
So
Okay.
me and my family, we started going in Orlando in 2012. And basically what the conference was it was a place for patients, not patients. It's not like that. It's a place for people with the same skin condition to gather, and it's a place for nurses and doctors, and it's also a place for just to like learn about the skin condition in
Right.
general.
For parents too. Yeah.
Yeah, for parents as well. And well, I didn't have many friends when I was there. I went to the kids' rooms. There was kids' rooms, there was teens' rooms. Um, there is young adult rooms, I think. I don't know.
I think it,
And
yeah.
there's a bunch of
I don't
different
know.
talks that you can go to. And you can really learn a lot through these talks. And so I basically my time was just spent in the kids' room. And I didn't meet Tommy and Bianca until 2022 in Denver, Colorado. So yeah, no, Deborah has a conference every 2 years, and that's just when I happen to meet them. And so what I remember doing is I have well, it's hard to pinpoint this without giving out too much information, but um me and Owen, he's my boyfriend now, and we basically met through, I think, uh it was outside, I remember. Anyways, we met and we found ourselves really bored. So we were like, well, I don't know, what should we do, you know? And he's like, oh, well, I mean, I brought card games, I brought like board games. We could do like board games or something like that. And so we put them out in the lobby and we made a sign that said board games and card games in the lobby. And about an hour went by, and I remember just being like, hey, Owen, like, I don't think that anyone's coming. I think we should just, pack up. And running out of time,
What is this?
I just saw
running out of time, upgrade to Zoom Workplace Pro and unlock the latest features, including AI companion. What do you mean? I'm not upgrading. Okay, I have 9 minutes and 40 seconds left.
The timed podcast speedrun.
Whatever that means. Okay.
Let's
Um,
go, let's go, let's go.
anyways, I was getting to the base of my story. I was like, no one's coming on. We should just pack up and leave. No, but then all of a sudden, you guys, a bunch of teenagers, just walk in the lobby, and we're like,
No, I
what
was a
the
teenager
heck?
then. Ew.
What the heck? Who are you?
You make it sound like you just met your future self. Who are you?
Who are
You
you?
from 20 years in the future.
And we just became instant friends. We literally played like card games for hours that day. And yeah. So it's not just me and Tommy and Bianca. There's so many others as well in the friend group. And we just decided to team up to do this podcast together. So yeah.
And
like such
now,
a core memory for me. Like just when we all like met and then like the next day it's like, oh, it felt like we've known each other for so long.
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm. And so fast forwarding to 2024, when we had our last conference, not even like a week ago at least. It was in Atlanta, Georgia this time. And Bianca locked in and she went into lots of the talks.
She did lock in.
She did log in. And meanwhile, the rest of the friend group and I, we dilly-dallied
Slept
and we
a lot of sleeping.
don't even. out me like that. Don't
I'm
out me
outing
like
myself. I slept through an entire day. I said, all right, I have 5 talks to go to. I slept through all 5 of them. All 5 of them. And it wasn't even like 2 in the afternoon. And I was like, well, I guess I'll get up. I'll go hang out. It was that stupid sleepover.
Yeah, so we did a lot during the conference and not just talks. I think I went to maybe one talk.
One.
One talk other than the opening and closing
I didn't even go into closing remarks.
yeah, but the most of the time I was hanging out with you guys. So,
This last one was so fun. Like,
Yeah.
it was so memorable. We definitely need to like talk about it like in a separate
yeah,
Mhm.
totally.
because
Yeah,
we're
it
running out of
was it
time.
was
But
great. It was really good.
it was so fun.
Mhm.
Um, other than not getting a lot of advice from the talks, I got so much advice from the rest of the friend group and you guys too. Um, just in general, not even about the skin condition, but I mean, I did learn some about the skin condition. Like others don't always take it
Mhm.
like you do, you know?
Mhm.
Like it some people obviously they have a more worse or they have a more less type than you. And just learning about how to manage it correctly, you know?
Right.
So, what
And go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, and I can recall from one part of this conference, I'm not gonna say who, but we were all hanging out in my room, and as we young adults do, fumbled. One of us fumbled. And I just remember like at least 4 or 5 of us just sprinted, and we're like, half of us are picking her up, half of us are making sure we have all the supplies we need, and it was just the most coherent silence I think I've ever had. Like, we were a team. Go team!
We
Like,
all locked in
we
that day.
really locked
We
in.
locked in.
And then I got in trouble for letting like 3 people into my parents' room, but that's okay. We locked in.
It was more than 3 people. You
We're not
got it.
gonna talk about how many people were in
No,
there.
but there was also a night, like it was like the second night that it was me and another friend that we went into your room at like 1 in the morning
That was literally
and we were really
fun.
loud. So
That was fun. My brother Zach, he the next morning he's like, yeah, Tommy brought in like a million drunk friends. I was like, they
it
weren't
was it
drunk,
was
and it
like
was
it
2
was
people,
literally yeah, it was only two people and one of them was
and
me
we were having
and
fun.
yeah.
Zach
So
was just being a Debbie Downer.
but I just wanted
No,
to
I
add
love him though.
too, like that's the cool thing about this conference is like you make longtime friends. Like, yeah, okay, it's about the talks and it's about learning about how to manage your EB and stuff and all the new amazing treatments that are coming out, but it's also about connecting with new people and reconnecting with old friends. So that's mostly what I really look forward to in the conferences is connecting with old and new friends.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
I feel like that's really important.
for sure. Is anyone else getting like more and more anxiety from this timer just ticking down in the top of their
Yes.
screen?
I keep looking over
3 minutes and 44 seconds.
dude.
Okay, I'm gonna fix this, okay? I'm gonna
Yeah,
fix this. Fix
for
it,
sure.
Felix to the rescue.
We could always just start a new meeting
I
and
feel like
like pick
there's
up where
so
Exactly.
we
much
left
more to
off.
talk about. Yeah, there's like so much more, way more to talk about.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm just going to pause this and
Okay.
maybe we'll have a little break and
Okay.
try and get back on track.
Okay.
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 We are live.
All right. Welcome back. We had a little, I wouldn't say short
It was an
intermission,
hour
but
and a
we were
half.
we were really trying to figure ourselves out because Zoom kicked us out and
Yeah.
our final option was Discord, and now don't even look at me like that. I'm not a Discord mod.
I'm turning you
Anyways,
down.
here we are. So I just wanted to kind of overview what epidermolysis bullosa is because we didn't really go too much into that, you know?
Yeah.
So, first off, I want to start by asking the question, what is it?
Are you asking
Are
us?
do you like?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
Are you
asking
asking
you
us?
guys, yeah.
Am I supposed to
Um,
know the answer?
so epidermolysis bullosa, in short, is it's a skin genetic skin tissue disorder, if I'm not mistaken.
Hold on.
Um,
Wikipedia.
yeah, it's just a genetic skin condition, and there's many types and subtypes. And it's only genetic. It's not contagious. You can't tract it from like touching a person with EB. So,
It just
that's
brings me so
basically like
joy.
the overview of like EB, like a TLDR, if you will.
Yeah, you're not gonna
Hmm.
get like the disease because I
Yeah,
don't have it.
Yeah,
it's only
so
genetic. It's only
a lot
genetic.
of a lot of people mistaken it for being contagious, and which is just very not.
Mm-hmm.
So do not be trying to steer your kids away from me. I'm perfectly fine with your children. Yeah, that's what I've got a lot before. Another thing is, I'm sure we've all got it before. Were you in a fire?
Oh my god.
Yes,
No.
definitely.
I can't even count like how many times I've gotten that question. Like countless times. Even like as a
It's
kid.
understandable. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
It
even asking a kid though, it's like why are you asking a kid this? Like I can remember like when I was younger, like I would get asked that question. I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't know how to respond to that.
especially when it's like an older person as well,
Yeah,
and you're like a kid yourself. I
yeah.
remember always getting asked by older people when I was like even like 6, like what's wrong with you? Like
exactly.
I'm
Right.
a kid,
I
like,
don't
you
know.
know?
I didn't even know
Exactly.
what I really had wrong until like a week ago. Is that bad? I went 18 years without knowing what was really
You
wrong
know,
with me.
what my goal is for this podcast is to know if you do have EB. I want you to know as much as you possibly can about it.
Hmm.
I don't want it to be the worst disease you've never heard of, you know? I want it to be the worst disease you've heard of.
Mhm.
I'm sick and tired of people thinking, "Oh, eczema, fire."
Yeah,
Like it gets tiring.
Yeah.
It
it
really
really
does.
does.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So what's the cause of it? I think we mentioned it a little bit earlier that the cause is missing keratin or collagen 7.
Hmm.
But um cause over like the general overview of it is that two parents are missing one parent is missing a gene that causes us to have epidermolysis bullosa is what I think I've learned.
Yeah, I'll probably send out like a link or something to probably the person whoever uploads this, and if you want, you could put it.
Yeah,
I have this like really nice website that like has videos of all this stuff too, so
Hmm.
it's very actually descriptive. There's the word.
Yeah. Do you guys have anything more to add on that kind of part of
well,
it?
I know like it's actually two people. Okay, I know for my specific kind of like dystrophic, I'm not sure if it's the same for dominant, but for recessive, it's the two parents are carrying the gene, like the recessive EB gene, and then like when whatever, and then they have the child. It's like, oh, so
Mhm.
Yeah,
it's like I don't know how to explain it, but they're I know for RDEB,
yeah,
they're the carrier of it.
right.
So
Yeah.
In RDEB, I especially because Zach is also the same. has RDEB.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
Both of my parents had the recessive gene, and when there's two recessive genes, it combine like it.
Sorry, can you guys hear me breathing? I'm
No, you're
No,
good.
you're
okay.
good.
Sorry, continue. You can
You're
continue.
good. You're good. You're
I'm
good.
very sorry.
Um, so what happens is when there's two recessive parents, there's either a 25% chance that it's going to have dominant dystrophic because it gets both of the recessive genes and makes it like a dominant thing, or it's going to have like a 50% chance of being a carrier, which is, or no, I'm sorry, a 25% chance of being a carrier, which means you don't have EB, but you carry the genes to give EB, and then there's a
Yeah,
50% chance that you have it, and it's the recessive gene, and you're carrying it,
yeah, exactly.
which is more often than not what it is. I know with at least me, you, my brother, that's all I know that have for sure are just
Mm-hmm.
recessive. But
Okay. So, what can I do to help? Is the final question.
Mm.
subscribe. Subscribe to the
Um,
channel, ring that notification bell.
well, there's a lot of nonprofits, like Deborah, for example,
Mm-hmm.
that you can donate to. So I think that's really important. Look into nonprofits that help families with EB, especially those like less fortunate.
Those are less fortunate, and
Espe-
those are more like new to the.
Especially,
Yeah.
especially those like in other countries too, because it's not just in the US or in Canada that people have EB, it's all over the world. So, there's definitely a lot of families outside of where we are that need a lot of help and support.
For sure.
Yeah. And also raising awareness. If you are just learning about this disease, maybe just make a post on Facebook or Instagram. Just let your people know that, it is a thing and real people deal with it. And yeah, you might even not know it?
Right. I remember.
Educating people on it is definitely important.
For sure. For sure. I remember my freshman year of high school. I had this friend, and like we had just became friends, ironically, because I had just downloaded Discord without my parents' permission, as I always do. And anyways,
Sorry, can you go closer to your mic, please?
yeah, yeah. So, like I was saying, I downloaded Discord and I was like really happy about it. So I invited my friend over. Like I sat by this kid in band camp. Actually, that's why I kind of really like band camp. I was sitting next to my friend in band camp, and he's like, "Oh, I have Discord. Let's be friends on Discord." And then like we became friends. And a couple of days later, he was like, "Hey, have you ever heard of this thing called butterfly skin?" I looked at him and I was like, yeah, I've heard of it. Why? He's like, oh, I heard it was like really severe and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, it is. And then I like showed him my hand. He's like, whoa. I was like, yeah, I'm that guy. But like, he is the only person I have ever heard actually know what it is outside of my family, and
Hmm.
obviously friends that have it as well. Like you guys obviously know what it is, considering
Hmm.
you have it, but it was just really neat to see that, like, yeah, it's getting around. It may be very mild, but yeah, it's getting around. It's really getting there,
Yeah.
but we need to push it further. I feel like we could do more.
Yeah.
So, tangent over. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I feel like there are some odd people that do know about it and others don't. And what Deborah, like the nonprofit organization and other nonprofits organized to this, their goal is to really not only donate for people to donate, but also for people to be aware of it.
Right.
Because I think that's a really big thing.
For sure.
You're probably watching this and you have no freaking clue what this is. That's okay. Um, Learning about it is what's most important, I think. So,
Right. You know,
the
I
next
was.
topic Sorry.
No, you're good. I was just gonna say you're not always gonna know everything as soon as you enter the world. So
Yeah,
like a
totally.
big point of being a part of life is learning and experiencing things, and
Mm-hmm.
EB is something that I feel like a lot of people, if they're fortunate enough to not have it in their family and friends, then they should at least know
Hmm.
about it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. My next question and topic is mental health and EB. This is quite a big one, but I think there are many areas that we can discuss on this because I know that a lot of people have on do things similar to this while dealing with EB on top of that.
Yeah. I feel like the mental health aspect, which is something that I was talking about at the conference, I feel like it's not really talked about enough.
for sure.
Like, yeah, there's the physical aspect of it, but we also need to focus on the mental aspect. So, like you said, like on top of dealing with EB, there's then the mental part of it. So, a lot of us have developed like anxiety or depression because of EB, PTSD, like so many different things, and a lot of them stem from EB. So,
For sure.
I think it's really important that like we emphasize like how important the mental part is of EB aside from the physical part.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So
So, I don't know if you guys are comfortable or not with talking about this, but like, would it be okay if this would be addressed like more like about your challenges, what you've been through, the mental health region of it?
definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't
Yeah.
mind sharing.
Yeah.
Um or is that something we're doing now or
Yeah,
Like
if
right
you
now.
want, if you're
okay.
comfortable, yeah.
Okay, okay.
Pop
Um
quiz.
well, okay, so for me, I don't know. I mean, I feel like I definitely feel like for me personally, and it's something I'll dig more deep into like in the future, but for me personally, I know a lot of things I developed because of EB mentally is like anxiety. Like as I've gotten older, my anxiety has gotten worse. Like general anxiety, and then like I've also developed like social anxiety, which is something that I'm still trying to learn to like navigate. I've also developed like a mild depression because of EB again. Um, and I that's something that I've noticed like as I transition. I would say like when I transitioned from like elementary to middle school is when I realized like I started developing all of these things as a result of EB. Plus like on top of that, like I had stuff happening at home and that wasn't helping. So, but but definitely I think a lot of it, majority of it, I would say maybe like 85% of it for me has stemmed because of EB, and it's stuff that I'm still trying to navigate to this day, and it's not easy, but I'm learning how to cope with it, especially like the anxiety and the depression. Like I'm trying to get out of that and like get out of like those mentalities, and like with the social anxiety, trying to get out more and trying to socialize more with people and not feel like I'm being judged, because 99% of the time I'm not being judged, but our brains like to think otherwise. So
Hmm.
that's like my experience, and then later I'll talk more deep into it, but that's just like the TLDR, I guess, for me.
Yeah, so for like me, it's more of like a social anxiety thing. Um, Going out, especially when I feel confident in the mirror and I'm like, okay, I look amazing today, like I can do this. And then when I go out and I start getting these questions and stares and comments, I don't know, it's difficult because at everybody else and you're like, well, I mean, they don't have to worry. Like, they don't have anyone staring at them, you know? And it's such a difficult aspect of it, you know? Like, it's really hard to grasp, especially when you're like still so new to like sharing your scars and like showing them, you know? That's my take on it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like learning to be confident in myself and not have those self-esteem issues and not be so anxious to go outside. And my goal is just to be confident in being me and have people know that it's okay to have scars and you know, so
Yeah, for sure. I know a lot of the time, especially in like middle school, because let's be honest, middle school just kind of sucks in general. Um, Everyone learns how to be a butthole and how to use more than just the um, nice words that they were taught by their parents when they were younger. Um, and I feel like that on top of having this EB, it's I realized a lot that I was like working way too hard to try and find friends and try and find people that I could confide in. Like I literally it was to the point to where like I there was a time where I would just practically buy my friends. Like I would transform myself into this thing that I wasn't just so I could be around these people more often so I didn't feel alone. And I feel like that's another thing that like I know they talk about it at the conference, but I feel like it's not something that you really hear much in general with the EB community. It's more like, oh, look at the blister on her elbow, or look at the scrape on his knee, and it's never really like, how do they feel about themselves and the world around them internally? It's always external, or it's never really, how does he feel? How does she feel? How do they feel about their environment around them? And I feel like that's a huge part, especially in younger people, because they don't know really, like, I mean, they don't know what they're doing in their life. They don't know really what their future is. I mean, I know when I was in middle school, it got to a point to where I was, you know, I was going down a pretty bad path in middle school, and I started to get my stuff together, and then junior year rolled around, and I tried to conform to a person that I was in a relationship with because I thought, oh, she's my only shot. Like, if I'm not with her, I'm just screwed, you know? Like, that's literally what my mindset was. So I was conforming to this person, and it became to a point to where I was, um, like, detaching myself from the people that loved me just for this one person. And I look back on that now, and I know hindsight is something that everyone wishes they had. Hindsight 2020 or whatever the saying is. I'm really bad at remembering sayings, but it's because my mom always screws them up. But if I looked back now and like I see myself in this way, I just look at myself like, why did I try and become something I wasn't? Why did I do this? What provoked me to be this way? I didn't just like, they didn't deserve this. They did everything in their power to keep me healthy and alive, and all I did was rub it in their face, and it was just because I tried to fit in.
mhm. Yeah, I feel like fitting in is what we also struggle with the most too.
Hmm.
Um, like I said, like so many times before, just because it's not well known, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyways, um, thank you guys so much for sharing your stories, and I hope that we can get into more in depth in the next episode about some of the funny things that people have said to us because oh my goodness, I have gotten the most weirdest things before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, thank you guys so much for doing this with me. It was great. So yeah, does anyone have anything finally to say or
No, I just hope that this helps gain more awareness of what UB is, because that's the whole point, is
yeah.
to get the word out and make it more known.
For sure, for sure.
So,
I just hope this reaches more people and people can like learn instead of just hear. Like they can actually instead of just hearing, oh, butterfly skin, it's like super crazy disease. They can actually learn
yeah,
about what it is and like how it affects the people that have it and like
Mhm.
how they react to people that don't. And like all of that stuff combined, I feel like especially with this podcast, I hope that people can reach out and I mean they can learn and adapt and maybe they could help we could help other people and
yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
And
totally.
like Kaya said, it shouldn't be the worst disease you've never heard of. It should be the worst disease you've heard of.
Exactly.
So,
Mhm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
so yeah.
Anyways, thank you guys so much for listening and we'll catch you in the next episode.
Bye. Hold on guys, my mouse died.